Good morning. You're watching Much Ado About Something today, and I'm Donna. I'm glad that you're here. If you've been around here a while, then you know that I love tea, so I'm in here this morning making my morning tea. I have already done my errands. I had to run to the store and pick up a few things, and I am working on my to-do list. This is my to-do list today. I won't get to all this probably, but there's the things that I've got to do today. But first, tea. I'm going to go ahead and make some tea. Cut the teapot on. And we'll just chat a little bit this morning while we wait and drink our cup of tea. Now, today's tea, I'm going to try that new tea that I got, the Fine English Breakfast Tea that's in this real pretty tin. I'm going to go ahead and have that this morning. Let's see what kind of bag it's in. Just in a little simple white tea baggie, and that's perfectly okay. And I'm going to add some of this Celestial seasonings. I'm going to add the lemon zinger. I love lemon in my tea, and I just thought, well, I'll just use this tea bag. A lot of the times I save my lemon rinds and dry them to add to my tea. But today it's just going to be a Celestial seasoning lemon zinger. I just decided to come on outside. It's such a beautiful day. It is fall, but it's going to be sunny today, and it is beautiful. So I'm just going to come on out here and sit out here and talk to you just a little bit. Drink my tea, look over my to-do list. I know I'm not going to get it all done today. There's no way. But maybe I'll knock a few things off of it and get started. Well, this is the second Vlogtober video that I'm doing this month. This is the second Vlogtober video. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm going to try to get that caught up this week. I'm just going to film what I'm doing, usually on a daily basis, and hopefully share it with you and include it with you. Let's go over here to my little potting area over here. And I'll share with you some of the things that I've got going on. One of the things on my list is to get my little cuttings that my sweet daughter has given me. Her love language is plants, and she loves to give me cuttings off her beautiful plants. And so I've got a few things here I've got to get planted. I can't let them dry out. Got a little something on there. I can brush that off with this paper towel. So I've got to get these planted today. There's a new leaf coming out right here, and I want to be sure to see that new leaf. I want to be sure to get this plant in the pot in time that I get to see this beautiful new leaf. And then right here is another one. So I've got to get these in the pots. She gave me some little baby spider plants and different plants in here. Now this is something that I plucked off of the echinacea out front. And doesn't this look really unusual? Now what's going on with this plant right here is a natural occurrence that happens in fruit and flowers. It's viviparity. It's when the seeds start growing within the fruit. And in this case, it's growing on this flower. So I stuck this in the water because you can plant seeds that are growing out of fruit or off of flowers in this instance. All of these are little echinacea plants. The seeds here have decided to grow because it's a natural occurrence, and it's when the protections within the fruit or flower are no longer sufficient to maintain seed dormancy. So it just starts sprouting in the fruit, or in this case, in the flower. So when the seeds formed, they just started sprouting. The viviparity procedure, it just went ahead and started, and so this is a natural occurrence, and I don't want these little baby echinacea plants here to go to waste. So I've had them in this water right here. I've been putting them in this water with my other plants, and I'm going to plant some of these little plants that's sprouting out of this echinacea flower that has dried up and seeded, and the viviparity process has begun. So I gathered up a few pots that I can put some of these plants in right here. And these have not been emptied very long. They're fine. Got a little bit of dirt in them, but they're nothing died in them. There's no disease or anything. And I'm going to reuse the dirt that I have here. And of course, I'm going to put the biggest plant in the biggest pot. Make sure you can see this pot. Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, so I'm going to put the biggest plant that I have here in this biggest pot. And then this one, I'm going to put in this size pot. And just work them around here. I think this one is beautiful. And I may have to find a little bit bigger pot for this one. So I've got to look for a few more pots here, or vessels to put my plants in. Alrighty, now I've added a few vessels here. I'm going to have to get these potted. I think I may change this soil because I remember this was pretty dry. Now I already have my soil mixed up that I have here. I mix my own. Just a basic soil mixing recipe. It's not anything really fancy. I'm sorry, I'm out here digging around and I got to not include to talk to you. Forget to include to talk to you and tell you what I'm doing here. I'll get so absorbed in my little potting area that I'll forget to tell you what I'm doing, so I can't let that happen today. So I got my little variety of pots out here. Normally I would scrub these pots and get them really clean, but I know that what I did was just take the plants out, and they were healthy plants and they've been inside, so I had them stored out in my little greenhouse there on the back porch, but I know that they're fairly clean and ready to plant another plant in. I knew that the plants that came out of here were not diseased in any way, so I feel good about going ahead and getting those plants on into the pot. Let me get my potting soil here. I'm going to have to tip it over because it's rained in it a little bit. This is the kind of problems you have when you don't have a potting shed. I keep it covered up with a big garden trash bag, a big heavy-duty trash bag. That's what I keep my soil here covered up with, so that it's, doesn't get soaking wet with rainwater. I'm going to fluff this soil up a little bit, mix it in. It's been sitting here. Then I'm going to go ahead and fill up my little vessels. Just go ahead and try to get these good and started. I've got some little shards here that I keep to go in the pots to cover up that holes. Little shards here that I keep in this bowl, and I lay them over the drainage hole so that everything's not just pouring out when you water. This one already has a bottom on it, so it doesn't come out real fast anyway. Drainage holes are a big deal when you're repotting your plants. Get some soil in this one. I don't know all the names of these plants that my daughter gave me. I'm not familiar with all of them. This is new to me. But I know she said it's an aerial root. So that means it would just kind of lay on top of the ground. And I'll have to get something like a hook of some kind to put down here to help stabilize this. I thought later I would take a wire cutter and just make a U-shaped hook and put it over the this right here to hold it. But right now what I'm going to do about that is just get a little rock. I also keep some little rocks over here. This one looks like it would be shaped perfectly. It's got a little place that I can put the stem and the root there. So I'm going to try to hold it down with a rock. And I think that will work. And I can't wait to see this new little leaf bloom and shine and be beautiful. Now I don't want these in direct sun for too long because they're semi-shaded plants. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this on the porch while I continue to do the rest of them. I'm going to set them out of the sun so that the sun does not burn them up while I'm out here working. until I can carry it in the house, and I'll water it in the house. And because these plants like aerial roots, I'm going to put a few rocks down in the bottom of this planter. I'm going to put a few rocks down here, maybe some small pebbles. And I'm going to do this just to increase the drainage in the house plant. Oh, I think I saw an ant in there. Isn't that pretty? Isn't the leaf on that beautiful? And this one, I think you can tuck it down a little bit deeper. It's not quite as many aerial roots as the other one. Now this plant did not have a drainage hole, but I do have rocks in the bottom that will promote drainage for that plant. And I'm excited to see that grow. I love the leaves on that. That's beautiful. And here's another one with the roots. So I'll have to get this one planted. Now when I water that, that'll go down and it won't be quite so deep up under there. I have one similar to this, but it's different. So she shared that with me, and I love these. I think they're beautiful. My little granddaughter collected these rocks on my sister's property. So that's how I have these little rocks. But I'm going to put one of them down, and there's minerals that come off of these rocks. And they'll get into your plant and enrich it in a way, a natural way, that it's hard to get any other way. So I'm going to hold it in there with that to encourage the root to grow up under that little rock. Remember, when you're doing anything, it's hard to beat nature. We have everything we need. We just have gotten away from it or overlook it sometimes. So that's just a natural way to plant that plant, and use a rock to hold it, and it'll also give some minerals to that little bit of soil there. Let's see how many more we've got to go. I've got this little fella. I think I'm going to put it in the bigger pot. And I've got these two little spider plants that are adorable. I'm going to put them just right down here in this one. I'm not sure if I'll put those two together or not. And then I've got my echinacea that's got vivere all over it, my little seeds. And so each one of these little plants have potential to be an echinacea plant. And I've got the perfect little recycled, reusable, budget-friendly terrarium right here. Right here are some to-go cups that the little grandkids brought their drinks in one day. So I just rinsed those out, and it makes a perfect little terrarium. We'll go ahead and put this little spider plant in here. I'll moisten that a little bit, and I'll put this lid on. And see, it's got a little ventilation system right here on the top. And there you go. There's the perfect little terrarium. For it to just take root in there until I get it planted. And I could even share it with a friend if I wanted to. That would be an excellent thing to do. You could even sell them if you wanted to. I don't know the rules. You'd have to find out the rules in your area, but you could even start your plants like that. And those would be good recyclable containers. Now these are washed. I did wash these. And they're great recyclable containers that you can plant your little plants in. If you're interested in replanting houseplants and having a little mini terrarium or a little mini greenhouse for them to get rooted in. I'm so excited to see all these beautiful plants take root and to see the beauty of them. I'm going to tuck that down in there pretty good. With those pretty leaves. I cannot wait to see how these plants end up looking, how they turn out. Now I'll baby these plants for quite a while until they get the root gets taken really good. And these little things right here, these little echinacea starts that's coming from the vivary, the natural process when a seed's protection breaks down that keeps it from sprouting in the fruit or the flower, and then the seeds start sprouting. So I'll take this little thing and gently pry apart the little plants. And then I'll plant some into these little terrariums. And then I'll transplant them outside, and I will have new echinacea plants. And that's so exciting. Now I've got to put them under here. I'm not going to get to them today. I'm just going to set them under here in a little bit of water for a little bit until I can come back out and get to them. Because the grandbabies will be here before we know it. And then I'll not have many things on my list done. I hope this gave you some inspiration. Me sharing with you today my repotting the little cuttings my daughter brought to me as a love gift. Whenever she trims her plants, instead of me spending money on new plants because I'm on a budget, she will clip clippings and bring them to me, and I'll repot them. And I have some beautiful house plants that way. I really do. A lot of my plants came from friends. I do buy some occasionally. If I see one I just can't live without, but I'm running out of space, so I just have to be choosy about which ones I've got. And she's got some really beautiful plants, so I will take her cuttings any day. Thank you for joining me. And like always, until next time.